When Rowling says sad hurts, but it's a healthy feeling. It is necessary to feel, but depression is very different. It's not something that just disappears after a bad night. According to World Health Organization report, Kenya has been ranked 6th with the highest number of depression cases among African countries. Looking at Christine Demba, a single mom of 4, play her Nyatiti, you will never imagine that she is a very depressed woman who at some point in her life even contemplated suicide. Sometimes life is really unfair that we are left with no choice but to play it right.
My name's Christine Demba. I'm the second born in my family. It is of 3 girls, but I've got other step-sisters and brothers. I went to school. I was born in Siaya Town, Siaya District Hospital, and I schooled in Siaya Primary School, and I went to secondary school in Siaya too. But I dropped out at Form 2, first term, I think, and since then I've never been back to school. I had to drop out of school in Form 2 because my family, we had issues. My dad and mom had issues, and then it was so hard for us to go to school because when the family has issues, it sometimes transfers to the children, and my mom left and we had to go with her, that is, because she wasn't learned, she never had a nice job, so she couldn't take us to school too. So she had to do odd jobs like wash clothes for people to get money, and that was just enough for us to eat, and at that particular time we were staying in Kariobangi, and that is why I got pregnant, because I met a guy. I was young, and he said he loved me, and I thought it was true. So I gave in, and before I knew it, I was pregnant. 2 months later, I was pregnant, but he wasn't anywhere to be seen. So I looked for him, he wasn't anywhere. And then when I met him, eventually I told him I was pregnant. He told me, no, that cannot be me. It's been long. And I said, okay, now what do I do? I tried begging, and then he said, no, that was not mine. So I had to take care of my child on my own. I was still very young, and I still wanted to party. I still wanted to do all this stuff. So most of the time, my mom helped me take care of my firstborn. And then in the process of partying, again, 9 months later, I got pregnant with a second child from a different guy, who again rejected me and said that pregnancy was not his. So at that particular time, I had 2 kids. Before I had my secondborn, I tried aborting that child severally. I tried because I was, when you're not married and you get the first child, they say it's a mistake, and then the second one, and people are like, okay, now the first one was a mistake. Now what is this? And I was like, okay. My mom now was getting furious, and I knew she was going to get mad. So I abandoned my child in Nairobi with my mom, and I went to Siaya because I wanted to get rid of this pregnancy before anybody knew about it. I tried aborting. I remember I used to hear people say Panadol can abort a child, like juice, like the one that is conk, not diluted. I tried all this stuff, and I used to try something, like I could take 10 Panadols and then wait for like 1 week, nothing is happening. I'm like, no, I have to do this. Again, I took like Jik. I drank Jik, and I was like, I think that was the scariest thing I ever did. I drank this Jik, and then I'm waiting again. 2 days, nothing is happening. 3 days, nothing is happening. 1 week later, I tried something else. Some like traditional medicine, I was told. It still didn't work. At one point, I even went to this doctor who did some, I don't know what it's called. He put me on some drip that it was going to help me. And there was this friend of mine who was with me. I went to her house, and like, that's the place where we are going to do this. So when I was put on the drip, nothing happened. I only got some little pain, and then it got lost, and I was just okay. At 3 months, nothing is still happening. So at one point, I meet a friend of mine, and he tells me, "No, you cannot do this." So at one point, I decided. I said, "I will have this baby now." For me, everywhere I heard they would look for me in the mortuary. They thought I was dead because I was very stressed. I wanted to just die. So someone told them that I was going through something and all that. So my mom had to come to terms with it, and I came back to Nairobi. When I came back to Nairobi at that particular time, my mom got back with my dad, and we had to go home again to the village. So when we went to the village, it was very hard, because now my dad was like, "Okay, you gave birth to the first child, it's okay. The second one, this is gonna be bad." And no one accepted me for that. It was bad. I dreamt of dying. I wanted to die. I tried killing myself, plus my children. But I managed to give birth to a boy, very beautiful boy. Unfortunately, he died at 3 years. And that was another challenge for me. When he died, I didn't know whether I should cry, because the devil was telling me, "Okay, you wanted to kill him, now he's dead. Then why are you crying?" I had this space in me that was left that I knew nothing else would fill. So because I love, I met this other guy. By then I used to do gospel music. When I say I used to do, at one point I stopped. And I do socially conscious music now. So I used to do gospel music. I was in the church for almost 10 years. I prayed so much because when I was going through these things, I still wanted God to just do something. I wanted God to open a way. I wanted God to give me peace. I wanted God to give me even a husband, somebody I could just stay with and stop all this mess. So I met this guy. We loved each other so much. And I thought, now this is it. And me, I'm very honest. So when I meet somebody, I tell you, "Okay, I've got a kid." And I don't even lie to you about the one that is dead. I tell you, I have a kid and I have one that is dead. So yes, we loved each other, and then before I knew it, I was pregnant again. I didn't know whether to call it a mistake or stupidity or anything. But people named me names because I was in the church, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's in the church where we have the most stigma that we can never think of, because it's in the church where people think they are so holy, they can't do this, and when you do it, now you're the bad one. Kama wewe ndio utakuwa kuni ya kuwakisha watu kwa hell. So people talked so much about me. I got pregnant again. The third child, no husband. And then this one comes with another rejection. It was bad. I went into depression. I tried killing myself. My cousins came. At one point, I was trying to kill myself. My cousins came in. They tried talking to me. But then anything everybody was saying was not making sense, because this was me. I was the one who was going through this. And it was so hard. Because now people are looking at you like, "Okay, the first child, second one, okay, now the third one, really, Christine, what is happening?" And you're in the church. It was something that, until today, I don't think I can get over it. Israela is here, she's growing. I have had to go through so many other things just to raise Israela and Debbie, and it's not been easy. But I thank God, because I came to terms with the fact that I had to live like that, knowing very well that no one was going to come in to help me. No one was going to pity me, My self-esteem, it went to 0.0009. I don't know. I saw myself as the most useless girl, the most promiscuous, the most cheap, because that is what people think of you when now you have the third child and you're not married. At one point, I've had to do so many bad things to raise my children. Men have used me in the sense that they know very well that you're desperate and what you need is maybe money. So sometimes they'll just lie to you. Maybe someone will tell you, because the problem with me, or the problem with, let me talk about self-esteem at my point of view. The problem with self-esteem is that when you're down there, you always want people to just pamper you. You want someone to tell you, "Oh, you're looking good." You don't believe in yourself anymore until someone tells you, "You look good." That's when you feel, "Okay, so-and-so said I look good." You don't believe in yourself. You don't love yourself until someone tries to love you. That's when you start thinking, "Okay, there's love." So at that particular moment, anybody will come and they lure you so easily, because you are at your at your worst, you know, at your lowest, they'll come and tell you, I love you. And you know how that feels good when you don't love yourself and somebody's telling you, I love you. You're like, okay, he loves me. So even if he's lying, you'll just play along thinking that, okay, let me see where this goes. And maybe he's just there to use you. So Christian comes in later, my last born now. I met this guy and I told him I had kids, and he's like, okay, no. He's ish about it. And then I told him, no, me at this particular point, I don't need any jokes. If you're not going to be in my life and maybe let this thing be serious, then there's nothing. So we part ways. And then sometime later we get back together, and then we are moving in together and we're living together. It didn't work. We both had mistakes. He had his mistakes, I had mine. So we parted ways, and yes, he tries as much as possible to take care of this child, which is at least better, because the other guys left and they don't even know how the children are being taken care of. So apart from that, I've had to go through challenges. Like, well, I told myself, okay, I have to just live the life that I can manage. Because I realized if I was going to live a lie, maybe show people that I can do this, you know, then I was going, it's not even me that was going to lose, maybe my children at the end of the day. So I try to live according to my standard, according to what I can manage. A lot of my friends see me maybe on Facebook, and they know and they think Christine is living a very big life. I've had people, I've gone to places where I hear people talk about me and they don't know who Demba is. They're like, there's a very big musician called Demba. But not so many people know what I go through on a daily basis. I stay in this one-roomed house. I can manage as much as possible to even get a one-bedroom and try as much as possible to pay it. But I told myself I want to live this life bit by bit, step by step, and see where life takes me, you know. I want to do something that even though my children are living in this one room, but I want them to know that struggles, they come. But at one point you have to work hard and achieve what you want.
Someone said, walk a mile in my shoes, see what I see, feel what I feel, then maybe you'll understand why I do what I do. Until then, don't judge me, but just as Vin Diesel says, we all deal with being unfairly judged. The people who know least about you always have the most to say.
Something else I want to talk about is depression in the youths. We see social media, people are posting beautiful pictures. We have phones. People are posting beautiful pictures, and then you're thinking to yourself, these people are living good lives. Maybe they are not. It's just the pictures. I have beautiful pictures on Facebook. People wonder. Those are just pictures. And sometimes for me, I'm a musician, it's okay because that is for promotional purposes. But we see these people and we think they're living so well, and then we want to be them. We want to be like them. At the end of the day, it brings so much depression to a person's life because you want to fit into somewhere you cannot. These people, there are people, yes, who post and they have money, but they do that to intimidate you. At the end of the day, you'll try. You go steal. You go do the prostitution just to be like so-and-so, just to have this same dress that people are wearing, just to have this life that maybe hang out in clubs and take those selfies and all that. The youths of today should think. The only thing that is going to get us out of this issue is to work. Work hard. Get something to do. If you have your own money, you can floss with it. If you have your own money, you can do whatever you want. But if you want to live maybe on somebody else's pocket, it becomes so hard. I've learned the hard way about that. Because there's a time I was living from handouts from friends. And now I don't know. My phone can stay even a week without anyone calling me because I lost a lot of friends through that. A lot. So many. No one calls me. No one. Unless maybe I call them. And me too, it's been a while. I don't call people nowadays. I just do my stuff. And it's because I wanted to live a life that was not mine. So right now I've come to terms with myself. And that is what I'm doing. I'm working so hard to make sure that my children will have a good life.
They say it is better to walk in the darkness with a friend than in light alone. Evelyn Juma is one person that has been holding Christine through the hard times.
Kwa majina ni Evelyn Juma. Mimi ni jirani tena rafiki wa Christine. Tumekutana kama 1.5 years. Nilimjua kama naishi hapa juu kidogo, lakini hatukuwa na uhusiano wa karibu sana. Sasa venye alihamia hapa, sasa kakuwa rafiki yangu. Hapo tumekuwa tukisaidiana, tunashare ideas wakati mtu wako chini, na tunainuana. Hivyo ndio tumekuwa tukiishi na Christine na watoto wake. Amekuwa mama mjasiri. Maisha hata kama si rahisi kwake, lakini anaona tu haezi give up. Anaendelea tu na maisha kama kawaida. Hatuone tu leo amefika mwisho kabisa. Akikuja niambie, na mwambie hapana, si give up. Haya yenye unaona saa hii yatakuja yapi? Kuna mahali Mungu amekupangia huko mbele, huwezi jua ni siku gani. Kwa hivyo si give up. Wewe endelea tu, na ni lazima ufike hiyo goal yenye Mungu alisema ufike. Kwa maisha yake amenielezea, mimi kama mama nilisikia, nikasema kama ni sister yangu na anapitia vitu kama hizi, na mimi ni binadamu, kama mimi sijapitia yenye anapitia, labda mimi siku yangu inakuja. Wacha tu tusaidiane, yangu ikifika nitajua nasema Christine alikuwa hivi na hivi, na niliona kama niseme haku give up mpaka akafaulu kimaisha.
I had to go through depression because again I felt rejected by the world and people. Being that I had given birth 4 times, almost 4 rejections. Because even these are the guy, when we parted ways, it wasn't on good terms. And for some time he like is never okay, since the day we separated, he's never seen his son, but he stayed close. So that is even part of rejection, because if someone, like, he knows very well this is my child and he's never seen him, it's now 1.5 years later down the line, he's never even said, come, I'll come and see him, or bring him, let me see. That tells me something, that Christine, you're just in this path of rejection. No one cares to even call and say, Christine, how are you doing today? No one. So that caught up with me too, and I was like, okay, I'm alone. Now let me be alone. So I could just stay here and cry and cry and cry and cry all night, all day. Getting food for the children was a problem. School fees for my daughter is not going to school. She's not been to school for the past maybe, I don't know, 3 terms, because I can't afford ECD. Of all the things, not even primary school, ECD. She's still at home until today. So such things I was thinking, and I'm like, okay, what kind of a mother am I? It's not that I'm not trying. I'm trying so hard. Even yesterday I quitted another job that was not giving me the kind of pay, but I was working so hard. I was doing a lot of work, but I wasn't getting paid the way I thought I would get paid. So I quit, and I'm looking for another one right now, which I don't know where I'll get. I need to pay my rent, which is due, and maybe my child needs to go to school, and so many other things that we need. So I was thinking to myself, and I'm saying, okay, Christine, now no one cares about me. No one loves me. Not even my family, you know. Even them, I'm the one who have to call them and say, how are you doing? I'm sorry to say this. And it's very painful when you're alone and you're just alone. And sometimes I sit and I wonder, do even my dad know that I exist? I'm sorry, but I don't even know the last time my mom ever called me to just say hi. But I call her and I tell her I love her. I tell my dad, I call him and I text him and I tell him, Dad, I love you. You're the best dad in the world.
No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. And this act could be in form of words, which can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless.
If I'm supposed to work, like now I go to work, and I get the little cash that I get, and I come home, najipanga na nunua sukari quarter, na make sure nimenunua hata diaper mbili, na make sure nimenunua chumvi, na make sure nimenunua some little things in the house. And then kitu ina come up, mtu yangu ananiambia they need 150 shillings for tuition. And imagine I can't get that 150. Sina. Then I call someone and say, okay, nisaidie na so mbili. Nikwambia sina. So those are the things that zilifanya mimi nika feel I never, like, sifai kwa hii dunia. Sifai, watu hawanipendi. And I thought of killing myself, but I didn't. I thank God. I have a friend of mine on Facebook. I love to talk. Me huongea sana. It's only that maybe I talk to the wrong people sometimes. So I talked to a friend of mine on Facebook who I didn't even know because niliona tu amepost kitu about depression. And then he said, if there's anyone out there who is going through something and needs to talk, I'm ready. And I'm like, okay. Nikam inbox too. I didn't know him. He's an old guy, friend of mine. And I started chatting with him. I told him, I'm going through something very tough. Maybe you won't understand, but it's like this and this. At that particular moment, he never helped me financially, but what he told me, ili strengthened. He told me, don't stay in the house, go out. That is one thing I learned about beating depression. I've not been to any counseling session. I would want to, by the way. But I was thinking, okay, sasa hata counseling yenyewe pia ni do. Utaendaje na mimi hata ya kukula ndio sina. My firstborn daughter ni mtu ako very sensitive. She knows when you're going through something, she'll know. And sometimes, this is one girl inspire. Nimetoka job, hakuna sina, because I have to go fast, nipewe hiyo dondo nirudi. Sometimes nafika saa 4 usiku. Unapata wamelala na muuliza mama, mtaamka mkule, ananiambia tumekula. Na muuliza mmekula nini? Ati niko na sukari kidogo nimepika strungi na wamekula na ugali. Kalala. I just sit there and I just nazima stima nimekaa tu. Because na imagine, okay, hata nikipika hii chakula saa hii hiyo pesa niko nayo nipike chakula wakule. Kesho watakosa kitu ya kukula mchana. I take my children to the daycare na strungi na mandazi. Na wanakaa nao the whole day. I come back in the evening, nothing. Na nimetoka job. So I'm like, nafanililie nani? Who am I supposed to tell? I'm not lazing around it. I'm lazy. I'm not doing anything. But I thank God my music heals me. The other day I was down and nikashika tu nyatiti yangu and I played and I felt okay. I didn't even know if I could get myself off from the bed. And then I just got this hope and I said, I need to live for these children. Each and every day. I will work hard for them. I will make sure I give them whatever I can, however small it is. I will make sure I do the best. Depression for me was something that I have tried so much to beat even from the beginning. Because my firstborn wangu nilimzaa 2005. And since that time, ilifika time mpaka I got rejected by my own family. At that point nilikuwa najua sasa hapa imeisha. But I still kept going and going and going and going. So juzi wakati sasa ilifika time now na feel ni kama nime give up. I'm like, Christine, if you managed all that, then kwa nini sasa una give up? And then I'm telling myself, okay, why am I going through all this? I don't know how I got myself out of whatever I was going through. But until now, I still have episodes. Sometimes in the day, sometimes in the night. Sometimes when I'm walking outside there. And crying helps me too. I cry a lot. And I release that tension. And after that, you have to wake up and make sure Christian amekunywa hiyo strungi yake. Israeli anataka chai, Israeli anataka nini. Christian anafaa kuoshwa nini. So you get yourself, bado uko tu na kitu ya kufanya hata kama uko stressed aje. For the young people outside there, what I can say, choose good friends. They're just people who are good. They'll help you. If you can talk to someone, but choose who you're talking to, because there are people who I've talked to who even put me in that situation more than pali nilikuwa. Mtu anakuacha sasa ukiwa sasa rugged, hata si eti nini. Umechanganyikiwa zaidi. You're even more hurt than the way you are. Put yourself in that person's shoes. Know what the problem is in the first place, so that you tackle it as a problem, not scriptures. John chapter what says this, oh, don't worry, but yes, that person won't worry at that particular moment, but when they get home and there's no food, how will you stop them from worrying? And the children are going hungry, how will you stop them from worrying? Give them advices. If there's a job opportunity somewhere, refer somebody. If it's finance issues, if it's rejection, talk to that person in a way that they will know that this is a real person talking to me, not just a pastor. So the pastor thing will come later, and the scriptures will come later. You can tell them, go and read this and this and this and this and this. And then we Kenyans, we should stop stigmatizing people who are living with mental health or people who are just going through stuff. Someone will come to you and tell you, okay, if you can't help them, okay, then just keep quiet and go. But if you can help, but don't stigmatize somebody or call them mwenda wazimu or nini, vitu kama hizo, because that one adds salt to the wound.
Ujumbe wangu kwa single mothers, wasigive up. Kinachofanyika leo hakimaanishi hakina mwisho. Na unaweza onekana hautakikani leo, kesho utatakikana. Kwa hivyo hata kama ni uko na kidogo kabisa, hebu jaribu itumie kwa kitu kikuu. Hata kama unaona hauwezi, hakuna mwenye hawezi. Maisha lazima iendelee. Na kama uko na watoi, hata kama hauna mtoi, hebu jaribu tu uishi maisha yenye ulikuwa unatarajia wewe mwenyewe na familia yako mfanye nini, hata kama hauna bwana. Hakuna kile kilicho gumu mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu. Everything you do or you plan to do, just put everything in the hands of God and everything will be just fine.
Sometimes these things the kids are going through, hata wewe ulipitia. Maybe it's drugs. Hata wewe maybe ulipitianga hapo hivyo ndio ukachange, ukakuwa the person you are. So first, you shouldn't criticize your child. You should send them away. If there's a way unaweza hata mpeleka rehabilitation, do. Sometimes talking to them pia it's hard because mtu akishaamua anafanya kitu anamuanga. But maybe if they come back at one point and they tell you, okay, now I'm trying to change, give them a chance. Parents too, we should be free with our children. And this one I always say every day. Kama mimi nilipitia what nilipitia. Why should I shy off from telling my daughter what I went through? I won't shy off to tell her, Mom, wanaume wengine, they are there to use you. They'll sleep with you and leave you. They'll make you pregnant and leave you. Because that is what I went through. And I'll give her an example of my life. I'll tell her, you see, I went through this. You see, nilikuzaa, babako ako wapi? Si nilikuzaa mwingine babake ako wapi? She will know. When she's growing up, hata akifika sasa hiyo teenage, hata akianza kufanya hizo vitu, but she will be very cautious of what her mother told her. Because it is from us, what we tell them is what wanashika. Ukishinda umeita mtoto umbwa, imagine hata kitembea kwa barabara mtu mwingine aseme umbwa ataangalia. Because anaona ni kama that's what they are. Talk to them so that they know these things exist. So that even when they are going through the same thing, they will at least know a little bit about how to deal with it. Or if they're good enough, they won't even get into that because they remember your story. Yeah.
It's good to always remember that your present situation is not your final destination because the best is yet to come.